Kenya, as of last year, our tax as a percentage of our revenues was 14%. Our peers in the continent is on average between 22 and 25%, which means we are way below, our taxes are way below those of our peers, you know. And I'm not comparing ourselves with OECD countries. You know, countries like France are at 45%, you know, others are higher. So I persuaded and I made a case to the people of Kenya that we must begin to enhance our revenue. Because if we are a serious state, we must be able to enhance our taxes. So my drive is to push Kenya. Possibly this year we will be at 16% from 14%. I want in my term, God willing, to leave it at between 20 and 22%.
We urge you as male legislators and those who want to be on the right side of history to be vigilant and thoroughly scrutinize all the bills that come to the committees and the floor of the House. Let us ensure that they do not claw back on all our negotiated gains. Thirdly, the Kenya Kwanza regime continues its avarice appetite for taxation. The new raft of taxes in the Finance Bill 2024, from bread to M-Pesa transactions and motor vehicle taxes, speaks to their callousness and inhumanity. I notice that Parliament has given the 28th of this month as the last day for those who want to submit the memoranda by way of public participation. The impeachment trial of a Cabinet Secretary for Agriculture and Livestock Development, Mithika Linturi, was the biggest farce thus far. That 7 MPs could overturn the vote of 149 members of Parliament. How would you call this? It's absolutely ridiculous. Mr. Linturi should do the honorable thing and resign. Number 5, this is a clarion call to the Azimio fraternity and all Kenyans of goodwill that we are ready to exercise our constitutional right under Article 37 of the Constitution of Kenya. That is the right to peaceably assemble, to demonstrate, to picket, and to present petitions to public authorities. We thank Conrad Adenauer Stiftung for hosting us this morning. We continue to appreciate your partnership in broadening the democratic space in our country.
Now this even as the National Council of Churches of Kenya from Nyanza region expressed concerns over proposals contained in the 2024 Finance Bill, accusing the government of being insensitive to the plight of Kenyans by overtaxing them, even as corruption and wastage become rampant.
Let me understand that. And to some extent,
the finance bill that is coming up for debate and hopefully, as known in Kenya, they may find their way with it. But we as a church do take note of the fact that we have a very insensitive government. That even after going through difficult times in 2023, when promises were made that things may get better in the future, Kenyans did struggle through the year, and even as we began this year, there was some hope. And here comes a bill that kind of dims that hope. We want to tell the government that they are being insensitive to the cry of the Kenyan that is adversely affected by this bill. When you ask me about any alternative they have, we have a government that seems to be too wasteful, and we have always raised that issue even in the past. We have a wasteful government. And whenever they even talk about cutting down on expenditure in certain areas, they have not yet lived to that talk. So the alternative that I would propose to this government is to relook at their budget, prioritize their expenditure.
Barely a week after doctors signed a return to work formula with the Ministry of Health and the Council of Governors following a 2-month-long strike, the Kenya Union of Clinical Officers has announced that the withdrawal of its officers from all public hospitals effective midnight May 15th. This was after the Employment and Labor Relations Court in Nairobi warned counties against harassing clinical officers who will be taking part in the strike. The officers in Kenya stand in for doctors in the provision of primary health care services. The strike threatens to plunge the country into a health crisis, especially in rural areas where there are no doctors and private hospitals are few and expensive as well.
Wednesday, we will be withdrawing all the staffs, anesthetists, critical care, and all the staffs under the Ministry of Health, including those working under the Port Health, those working under Mathare Hospital, those working under KU, Kenyatta University Hospital, those working under spinal injury. Tuko na wengine wanaitwa cashiers, wanalipwa 18,000. Mtu amefanya degree amemaliza. Alafu yule ambaye ako kwa kandarasi ya kudumu analipwa 1,115. Wanafanya mandhari ni sawa ambao wanafanyia kazi.
The healthcare workers in this country need a central management system where they can directly negotiate or rather get allocation from the treasury to employ.
We are asking for enough clinicians so that you do not have to wait 8 hours in that health center.
Employ more staff to guarantee takeover of the UHC.
Now, a storm is brewing in the Mount Kenya region as the leaders fight to become the region's kingpin. The tug of war, an indicator that the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, who is the highest-ranking Central Kenya government official, is yet to bring the Gema nation under his firm grip. Let's listen into this report.
A supremacy battle has been brewing in the Mount Kenya region as the leaders jostle to become the Mount Kenya Supremo. Even though the current Deputy President, Rigathi Gachagua, holds the highest position in the government and would ideally be considered the automatic Mount Kenya kingpin, he is yet to be accepted as the supreme voice of the region. For the last couple of days, the Deputy President has been engaging the region in a message that resonates with the people in an attempt to show that he cares for the region. However, he does not seem to be gaining a lot of traction because shortly afterwards,
Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya is a believer and a proponent of one man, one vote, one shilling.
CS Moses Kuria shot down the message, warning that he will not allow himself to be used to deceive the Mount Kenya community. This is what the CS said. This is why I will not lie to the people of Mount Kenya region about one man, one vote, one shilling. Our region has produced the sitting Deputy President, 9 cabinet members, including the Attorney General, National Treasury and Secretary to the Cabinet, Majority Leader, Chair of the Budget, Chair Finance in the National Assembly, Deputy Speaker, Deputy Majority Leader in the Senate. What other powers would we be looking for? We are government and we can implement one man, one vote, one shilling by Friday if we are serious. Let us be honest to our people. End of quote. Moses Kuria has in the last couple of days been complaining that President William Ruto has been meeting leaders from Kiambu region without him, wondering what the president was up to. These, as organizers of Limuru 3 socio-economic and political meetings scheduled for Friday, say Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua and former President Uhuru Kenyatta are welcome to attend. The Mount Kenya region leaders, drawn from over 10 different parties, led by NARC Kenya leader Martha Karua and Jubilee Secretary General Jeremiah Kioni, announced the Limuru 3 conference would be held to iron out the region's issues. It will be interesting to see whether the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua will agree to subject himself to an initiative spearheaded by the NARC Kenya leader Martha Karua, who is also trying hard to become the Mount Kenya kingpin. Currently, several leaders have set their eyes on dethroning the DP Gachagua as a kingpin for the region and have been eating away at the Deputy President's influence. The first is Ndindi Nyoro, Kiharu MP, who seems to be DP's biggest threat. He is President William Ruto's blue-eyed boy. The second is Kimani Ichung'wah, the Kikuyu constituency MP. And then Martha Karua, NARC Kenya leader, Uhuru Kenyatta, the former president, and Moses Kuria, the CS public service. Former President Uhuru Kenyatta, though out of public life, is believed to still have a strong say in the region and is using proxies to eat away at Gachagua's current influence. Experts say Gachagua cannot afford to sit pretty as all guns are set on him. This has gotten him on a campaign mode, and this seems to be making his boss uncomfortable. Gachagua has even reorganized his communication and blogging department to effectively communicate to the region, bringing in former Nyeri Town MP Wambongo Ngonjiri. The parties have taken off the gloves, and it's now said to be a bare-knuckled war.
Kimeeleweka.
Okay, to the newspapers now. We'll kick it off with what was our top story this morning, and that has got to do with the taxes. Be ready for higher taxes yearly. That is on the Standard. Ruto says now Kenyans should brace themselves for continued increase in levies over Ruto's presidency after he revealed that his ultimate aim is to push the country's tax to the gross domestic product ratio GDP from 14 to 22%, despite a pushback by taxpayers who protest at the move and complain that their dues are never put to good use. So Ruto says this, and I quote, "When I came into office, I told everyone to tighten their belts. I am not going to preside over a bankrupt country, a country in debt distress. We have to cut our spending." So that is the headline on the Standard newspaper. A bit of numbers. Now, Kenya's budget for the financial year 2024-2025 is at 3.91 trillion shillings, which is a 273 billion shillings reduction from the 4.1 trillion that the government had earlier planned to spend. So 3.91 trillion shillings is what will be in this year's budget. Now, projected total revenue for the 2024-2025 financial year is at 3.4 trillion shillings. It's a question on will KRA achieve that particular target, and that is where the taxes now come in. At which Ruto now says the ultimate, tax level should be at 22%, up from the current 14%. The expected budget deficit that will be bridged through borrowing from both local and international lenders is at 541.7 billion shillings. That means there will still be a gap of about somewhere close to 200 billion shillings that will still need to be funded. So be ready for higher taxes, Ruto says, and that is on page 4 of the Standard newspaper. So Ruto promises to increase taxes as Azimio tells MPs to vote down the bill, but they're disadvantaged. They do not have the numbers in the National Assembly because the majority coalition, the majority party is UDA party. And we've seen, as history has put it, the ruling government or the ruling party will always vote for the bill. And so they are under, they are disadvantaged at the National Assembly, and they've said, they will be calling for demonstrations if these taxes, or at least the push for higher taxes, is put in play. And they held a legislative meeting yesterday, that is for the Azimio La Umoja coalition, to discuss the finance bill, to discuss the NADCO report, amongst other issues. Now, a rallying call, he's issued a rallying call to the Azimio fraternity and all Kenyans of goodwill, asserting their readiness to exercise their constitutional right under Article 37 to assemble, demonstrate, picket, and petition public authorities. That is Kalonzo Musyoka. Now, Ruto, speaking to Harvard Business School students, reaffirmed his commitment to increasing tax revenues, which may result in additional tax for Kenyans. Now, at the moment, we've got quite a couple of taxes which were introduced in the Finance Bill 2023-2024, which sparked uproar, including the Affordable Housing Bill, increase as well of the VAT on fuel, and that we saw rise from about 8% to 16%, amongst other taxes that were added. In addition, now this year, 2024-2025, if that bill passes unamended, then we'll look at 16% increase of tax on bread. We'll look at motorcycle increase about tax of about 10%, as well as motor vehicle tax that will also be introduced. So if you're a car owner, then that means more trouble for you. So new levies, which will cause a lot of distress. Ruto says, you know what, buckle up, because that is not the end. Also, school feeding shocker for 2.6 million shillings in funding cuts. We'll be taking a look at more about that on the Daily Nation. Confusion in UDA as CS Kuria enters Limuru 3 Fair. What is it with this Limuru 3 meeting? As Mount Kenya leaders seek to say, in quote unquote, put their interests first or discuss their interests. And so the Limuru 3 meeting sows confusion in Kenya Kwanza administration. Rigathi Gachagua says those who intend to plan for meetings should come and talk to me, because I am the senior most political leader in this region. That is the second in command. Moses Kuria says we are a government and we can implement 1 man, 1 vote, 1 shilling by Friday if we are serious. Martha Karua says we are marginalized even in the distribution of resources, and this also means access to health is being marginalized, therefore causing people ill health and death. So Limuru 3 meeting continues to cause infray on whether or not this is a meeting that is for the benefit of the Mount Kenya region, for the benefit of a couple of individuals in the Mount Kenya region, but it all falls back to one thing. It is a Mount Kenya region issue. Now, to the Daily Nation, budget, no money for school feeding. No money for school feeding. The Ministry of Education has appealed to members of parliament to reinstate funding program. Earlier, or rather failing children, millions of learners from poor families in some 26 counties risk dropping out of school starting July after the Kenya Kwanza government, which promised to double beneficiaries of free medical scheme, withdrew funding for the program. Now, in this new financial year, the funding program or the feeding program, which requires about 4.9 billion shillings, has actually been allocated, get this, 0 shillings. So no money to the school feeding program, which basically means, how will the schools now be able to get this, food if there's no money for it? However, at the same time, Gashagua's office will get 2.6 billion shillings for renovations and cars. Now, the members of National Assembly have raised questions over the proposed allocations of 2.6 billion to the office of the Deputy President, Rigathi Gachagua, in the next financial year to renovate his Harambee Annex office and the current residence. Now, 460 million shillings will go to the refurbishment of the house, while 460 million shillings will go to the refurbishment of the Harambee Annex, and another 660 million will go to the renovation of his residence. Where are our priorities? So that is the headline on the Daily Nation. Even as help end salary protest by the JSS teachers, Kupet asks members of parliament as JSS continue to strike junior secondary school teacher interns. Then finally to the Star newspaper. Big split in Mount Kenya as Karua leads Limuru 3. Big split in Mount Kenya as Karua leads Limuru 3. UDA stalwarts led by the DP Gachagua have dismissed meeting as a scheme to divide the community. Now, Ethnic Unity Public Service CS Moses Kuria has signaled his intention to attend the Limuru 3 meeting, which is set to be held this Friday, which is tomorrow. And so leaders who said they will attend include Moses Kuria, who's the Cabinet Secretary for Public Service, Martha Karose, the NAK Kenya leader, part of the Azimio Coalition, Mwangi Wairia, former Muranga County Governor, part of the Azimio Coalition, Jeremiah Kioni, Jubilee Secretary General, part of the Azimio Coalition, as well as former Laikipia Governor Ndiritu Muriithi, who's also part of the Azimio Coalition. So the only UDA politician that will be attending, or at least we know will be attending, is Moses Kuria. If there are any other, then eventually we'll know about it. And so ethnic unity, the one man, one vote, 1 shilling debate continues to crop up about, if a region has got this particular number of residents, then they deserve more, equitable revenue share to the counties. They've got the higher numbers compared to counties which, record low residents within the county. So cracks have deepened in Mount Kenya as some political bigwigs led by NAK Kenya boss Martha Karua convene a revolutionary Limuru 3 conference on Friday. The event has sparked controversy as jostling for the 2027 presidential contest begins. In what confirms division even within the ruling Kenya Kwanza, Moses Kuria has declared his intention to attend. But UDA stalwarts led by Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua have dismissed the meeting as a scheme to divide the community. Also top of the page, Kenya not out of the woods yet as citizens grapple with the effects of heavy rains. Kenya not out of the woods yet. Some schools are yet to reopen. Some 75 people are still missing. The death toll rose to more than 250 people as announced by the Ministry of Interior. And so the effects of that are still being felt. And remember, there's also the question on food security crisis. Do we still have enough food? As some of the farms were also swept away. About 9,000 acres of farm across the Republic of Kenya of different, farm inputs, whether it's beans or rice, were swept away by floods. Does that now jeopardize our food coffers in the country? That will be known in due time. So those are your headlines on the newspapers this morning. Big split in Mount Kenya as Karua leads Limuru 3 on the Star. The Nation, budget no money for school feeding children. However, Gachagua's office will get 2.6 billion shillings for renovations and for cars. And the Standard, be ready for higher taxes. Ruto says from 14% to 22%. Those are your newspaper headlines. All right, so do allow us to take a quick breather. When we come back, it is Artistic Thursday. We'll be getting into studio with Elisha Wasaga, who's an artist and plays contemporary music. So keep your feedback coming in. If you've got any requests, songs that you want him to play, well, he's here. He will be doing that in just a bit. So stick around for that. We'll be back shortly. Stay with us.
Watching EBN TV, transforming your world.
Hey, trust me, I'm on to something. Maybe it's just not my time. Every dog has its day. I'm alive and that is good enough. And anyway. I'm alive and that is good enough, and I'm giving my best anyway. Anytime you wake me up, I know that you're surely not done with me yet. Kila siku nasema kamano, yakaraga umenifikisha. I'm alive and that is good enough, and I'm giving my best anyway. I'm alive and that is good enough, and I'm giving my best anyway. Anytime you wake me up, I know that you're surely not done with me yet. Kila siku nasema kamano, yakaraga umenifikisha.
Wow. There was a point I wanted to come in and sing, but you know my voice. Sisi ni wale, we listen to the lyrics but not the voice.
You can do it. If you can talk, that's nice. You can actually sing.
Hopefully one day in future. Karibu sana Elisha Wasaga.
Asante sana.
Welcome to EBN TV. It is great to have you. You've got an amazing voice.
Thank you so much.
And wow, finally, just getting the opportunity to meet you. When somebody goes through an artist, social media platforms, or at least what they have done, and it's when they get, the magnitude of, wow, this is the kind of artist that he is. So you're doing an incredible work.
So it's humbling.
It's humbling, yeah?
Yeah, quite.
And we hope that many more will look at you and say, oh, wow, I want to be like him one day.
Hopefully. Yeah.
All right, so let's just get started and understand who Elisha is. The people that are watching you for the first time, they've never met you before. So tell us a bit more about yourself.
Yeah, so my name is Wasaga Elisha. I'm an artist, singer, songwriter. I recently released an EP, Zero Pressure, and the song I just did is called A 24, which was my debut single. I come from Sindo, a place in Homa Bay County, Suba, kule kwa Mbadi na Karoli, and it's the lecture. So if you never met Abasuba, you just seen one today.
Well, it is good to meet you, and Abasuba finally.
Yeah, finally.
All right, so let's talk about your musical journey, and where it all started. For a lot of people, this is a talent. It's something that grows on them when they are young. Eventually, now they perfect it to the professional status. So if you could tell us a bit about your musical journey, where it all began, at what point did you sing, and people are like, hey, so you can sing, Elisha,
Yes, I think music, or every gift rather, comes from one place, which is church. So I started my music in church, Sunday school, and I used to, do those presentations that you're always looking for the MC at church to give you a chance. Like, just wait to leo programs ni mob. So that is where it all started, and I kept building it up, and then we got to primary, PPI.
Ulikuwa una lead PPI.
Every Friday. Yeah, so ilikuwa ile song fulani ukishaanza unajua bas. It's going down. Itashika. So I did that, and then of course, the how do we used to call them, the music festivals. It was a Primo. The primary I was in, there was no investment in music, so not like there's anything that was really going on so much with it. But the little chance I had, I think I got to district or something in primary. That was quite something. They traveled for the first time.
When you were in PP, when you were in primary,
So I think your interest just started building up slowly, but sure. And then it probably started sprouting when I got to high school. So high school is when I actually got to know I actually have a special talent. Where I joined the choir. I was forced. It was a good thing though.
It bore fruits anyway.
A very interesting story then, because I remember I was like leaving to play football, and then I met some guy called Okore Jack who was in charge of the choir then. It was like, "Form 1 kuja hapa. Hebu imba hii note." Then I was like, okay, sing this. Ingia iko hiyo line. And that's how I joined the choir. Then I started being a solo. there are parts I'm the only one who could sing, probably because my voice hadn't broken then. It was a boys' school. So I started realizing that I actually have something special. And then the school started putting some restrictions for me. I couldn't drink, tea with sugar.
Wow, to preserve the voice.
Yeah, and they said, now this is not your voice, it's our voice.
Incredible,
That's actually how my journey has been with music, and now I got to understand. That's why I picked up the guitar in high school.
Oh, so you started playing in high school?
Yes, the guitar. Actually saw my first guitar in high school.
Wow.
Yes. Interesting, right?
Wow, interesting. You saw it and you're like, I want to try that.
I'm like, any day I'm playing this instrument. So that is how it started, and then campus, now everything was now taking shape.
Because you've got a bit more freedom.
Yeah, a bit more freedom. I also understand more of what I want. I did a few auditions here and there, and in 2017 I was in Mashujaa Day at Machakos.
Oh, wow, you presented,
Presented. I was one of the soloists for the mass choir, which was so huge for me then. And I think ever since I've just felt like, there's actually something special here that not everyone has, that I probably was taking for granted.
Was there any moment in between when you finished high school and, after high school that you were having, sort of like a double thought on whether this is something you want to do or not?
It's a bit of mixed feelings. So there are things, let me say, there are things God does, and then you're like, I didn't see this coming. Because I always knew I was going to do something in music. I always told my bros when I was just from high school, I didn't have any experience, and I have to say, I used to tell them, and they actually laughed. Told them, I'm going to make so much money with this music thing. Told them the plan, this is how it's going to work, and they were laughing because they didn't get it. And I didn't have any instrument. I didn't know how to play anyways. But I just felt that strong urge. But again, before results, there are things you want to do, as usually so complex. I really wanted to be, don't tell anyone, guys. I wanted to do medicine. And then I missed the cluster, and I ended up doing computer science. So I felt like that was more of a redirection, because if I was doing medicine, I don't know, I have nothing against you.
The schedule would have been a bit tight,
and I probably would be a boring person, just closed up and trying to study so much.
I didn't just call those people boring.
You are my friends, and we need you. So, but probably we did have gotten time to learn more on the music thing. So I feel like it was more of a redirection than being in a point of dilemma but I always knew I'm going to do music, and it's gonna be great.
So professionally speaking now, within that time when you're in campus, you've got a bit more freedom. You're learning more about this space. You're looking at some of the artists that perhaps you're looking up to and thinking, so this is what needs to be done, and this is what should be done. So that switch now to being professional. Did you have any guidance? Did you get somebody who sat you down and told you, listen, Elisha, this industry that you're getting into, this is what you need to know. You need a producer, you need a manager, you need this and that. Was there anyone that gave you that guidance as you got into it professionally?
Yeah, really, in everything you get to, you need information. There's a preacher at the church I go to who usually says very interesting things about, if you want to conquer any mountain, you probably have to gather the information about where you're going to. And so big ups to Pastor Stan, and Pastor Doc. So it's usually more about trying to understand what you're getting yourself into sometimes. So I remember I talked to a few guys, but special thanks to Okelo Max, who introduced me to my first producer. He actually gave me an option of 3, and he was like, so I'd recommend he use this producer, and this one. And then I was like, okay, let me try. And it went good. Also just telling me what I need, guiding me up with the DSPs, distribution, a bit on the music, business, artist profile, you know, how to even do a rate card, how everything works on the music industry. I think I've really learned so much, not just him, even with my producers, Wodomolo, Gordon. When I get a session with him, we probably take the first 30 minutes just like, you know, doing a master class. And I also ask a lot of questions. I'll probably ask you 2 or more after this interview, so be ready. So I ask a lot of questions, so I can be able to learn. Sorry, I forgot to put this. It's probably one of the guys at work.
He's watching,
Yes. IT, can we? Okay, my email. So anyway, so I think most of the things I got to learn by asking questions unapologetically. I'm usually not afraid of looking like I don't know something, at least for the first time. But that really helped me to avoid learning on the go through experience, things that guys have already suffered and learned.
Yes. And you know, it's good to always ask, because especially when you're getting into an industry that is quite huge, quite competitive, everyone is doing something music-wise, it's always good to know what are you getting yourself into. It prepares you also ahead to look ahead and think, so if I want to be there, this is what I need to do. Now, the first music that you actually went and did in studio, how are you feeling? You know, what if you could take us through the emotions that day? You know, it's your first professional music. Studio, you have your producer there, and you know, there's a lot of pressure to do it well and to prove that you can do it. How are you feeling that day?
Finally someone is asking me this question, so I can get to talk about it. It's actually, it's quite something. Because one, it's your first song, probably the first you've written, or if not the first, it's the first that you really believe is good.
It's the best.
It's the best of what you have. And then you get to studio, you're not sure of the reception even of the producer, so you're always watching out to see, is he liking it? See how you get, you get there, and then the guy's like, okay, so play me the song you want to do, and I'm like, so this song is called At 24. Okay, so at 24, you know, and you also have a couple of guys in the studio. Then it's your first time being in front of, you know, that booth and recording something. There's a first time for everything. But for me, it was really a big game changer to just see. I actually don't know how my career would have turned out if it was a different producer. Because for a minute it was like silent. It was like, I really like this song. And that just. And then I could also see my manager just vibing to it. And I felt like this is quite
it's happening.
Because again, it was a song that is so from within. Maybe I can say something about it. So At 24 is a song. So I was really tired of giving the same advice to my peers, especially ladies, about chill, relax. You know, sometimes when ladies get to 24, they feel like 30 is here. They feel like they should my time is up. They feel like that's why I said it was so sarcastic. At 24, you should be living by yourself, not in your mama's house. You should be having a degree, probably a job you do, you know, some good account, probably in love, or your wedding is this December. So those are the expectations that the society puts on us. And also we put it on our own selves. You know, the pressure that comes from within. So I was really tired of telling guys, as long as he wakes you up, he's not done with you. I was like, okay, maybe I can just put it on Spotify. So the 2 or 3 people will go listen to it on repeat. That is the essence. That the music is made for them.
It sort of like sounds like music with a purpose, you know. You're able to write something that you see is happening and you put it down on paper, and so many people will relate. By the way, maybe one of them I'm relating.
So chill.
So chill. So now let's talk about you know, the music that you did after and after and after, and the many more that you did after, you know, looking at the first one that you did, the support that has come in, the great words that you've been given by your producer, even managers, even your friends, perhaps those who listen to it, and now the things that you're doing after that. What would you say changed for you after that first single that you recorded?
Okay, I think first thing is I got to realize I can actually do this. And then I started writing regularly, writing every day, a song every single day. Yo, I was writing. And then the next song I did was called Maria. So Maria was about, you know, meeting someone. I don't know if you've listened to it. Let me play the chorus. She has ticked my boxes. She is everything I need. She's a 10, but she doesn't pray. She has ticked my boxes. She comes in every shape I like. She's a 10, but she doesn't love me. So Maria was inspired by the fact that you meet someone who is so good, so humble, so polite, so beautiful, so all that. But there's a red flag. This person doesn't recognize God. They don't go to church. And so there's just something, you know, there's just something different when you're dealing with someone who has no, an atheist, for example. There are things you can't agree on. You know, there's a point you get to life where you can only resolve it by believing in it. You know. So it becomes like a red flag. You're like, you're everything. You probably met someone in church, but there's just something that
is missing.
But now you find someone else. The person is out here, and you feel so disappointed. So actually,
was that from like a personal experience?
Yo. Sounds like putting it out there. So usually like two red flags. One, you're meeting someone who is not like-minded, or someone is all good, but again, they're not interested in you. So how is that helping you? You know, so that is what inspired that song. And then I wrote the third song called Nitafika. So Nitafika is actually from Colossians, and the first verse, Yote, it's word for word from the Bible. So
there's nothing wrong with that.
So I was like, yo, this is too wise for me to change anything. Like, you know, I returned and saw under the sun, I know that the race is not for the swift, nor the battle for the strong, nor the bread for the wise. You know, time and chance happens to them all. Like birds trapped in a trap, or, you know, fish. And I'm like, yo. So it was like, Nitafika, siku yangu ikifika nami nitabarikiwa, wakati wangu ukifika mambo yatakuwa sawa, na zamu yangu ikifika nami nitashangiliwa, nitafika. So that is where Nitafika came from. That whatever you do, work at it with all your might, like it's unto God and not. So that was Nitafika. And then I did a Valentine's edition. Mapenzi.
Mambo ya mapenzi.
Yes. So, because my music, apart from it being educational, it's also, I'm also an entertainer. And it's also a business. So, you know, getting wedding gigs and all that. So I did a Valentine's edition that you all really loved. Ladies, thank you so much. Yes.
Maybe you need to give these ladies a sneak peek, because now they're like, Lisha, si tucheze kidogo.
Okay, can play one that I released the video like 2 days ago. It's called Nakupenda. Nikushike mkono, sitakuvunja moyo. Jabe, tulia, tulia, wacha nikupende. Hii ni tukionjo, maembe dodo, mdogo mdogo, mato baby, wacha nikuoe. Nakupenda, my love, you're my everything. Nakupenda, my heart, baby, you make my heart sing. Nakupenda, my sweet darling, yeah, you're my destiny. Nakupenda, it's only you, my Jabe. You never had me, now usiwe na pressure. I will love you anyway, the way you like it. In every way. Minawe, milele, till the end of days. Yeah. Like a flame, well, love can't be tamed. Yeah. I feel so nice when you call my name. Yeah. Nakupenda, my love, you're my everything. Nakupenda, my heart, baby, you make my heart sing. Nakupenda, my sweet darling, yeah, you're my destiny. Nakupenda, it's only you, my darling. It's only you, my darling. It's only you, my darling. Nakupenda, it's only you, my darling. In your head, now usiwe na pressure. In your head, baby, usiwe na pressure. In your head, now usiwe na pressure. In your head, now usiwe na pressure.
Wow. I'm 100% sure there's somebody who has fallen in love all over again. That is an amazing song. Wow. So about that, what's the story behind that? I feel like your musics have like experiences. Yeah.
That's where it's coming.
Yeah.
So I wrote this song at a point when I was in love, but Nairobi.
Again.
Nairobi. So
Yeah.
by the time I was releasing the song, I wasn't dating. But I wrote it when I had someone. You know, some of these songs have to be inspired. I don't know how you're just going to sit down lonely and then write an Nakupenda song, you know.
Yeah, you need some motivation.
Yeah, so I had someone then, and then
Yeah.
It is well.
Yeah. It is well.
It is
Tough
well.
times never last.
Tough people.
Tough people do. We move on.
It is well. So
God will fight my battles.
Hallelujah. Mungu muonekanie.
Hello. Yes.
So let's talk about the kind of music that you do, because there's a feel to it.
Yeah.
There's it's kind of a song that when somebody listens, they will sit down and think so much about themselves, something about their life, to see can they be able to relate with what you're singing. And you know, this is a country we've got so many types of musics.
Yeah, true.
Why pick this kind of music for you?
Yeah, for me, I really appreciate that question. Yeah, because I feel like it's most people usually don't care to understand why someone does whatever they do, and also I think for me this kind of music is to give an alternative entertainment that is clean and pure.
Yeah.
If you've watched my videos, you probably appreciate because I'm really keeping it
Clean
and decent, and because we consume this music, we do. So if I don't give you this music, you're going to consume it elsewhere, and I'm not so sure where you're going to consume it. So this is the music that I'm giving out. Yeah. So as much as I serve and I play guitar, I'm an entertainer. I do wedding gigs. I do shows. I do, concerts. So it's like the idea was to give that alternative entertainment.
Yeah.
Yeah, that you can rely on, that is entertaining, and that is clean. Because I believe, why does it have to be dirty to be interesting? You just enjoyed what I was playing. But everything you've been texting, the guy we told not to worry about, nakupenda, I like it when you call my name. I'm like, tulia, ini tu kionjo, kuja nikuoe. I'm like, that is actually, you make my heart sing, you're my destiny. So it's the same things you guys, So for me, it was giving that alternative.
Yeah.
And I think I've answered your question.
Yes.
Giving that alternative entertainment and having a very good separation between music ministry and music business.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, so that I don't give you entertainment where I shouldn't be entertaining you. So, and just having that clear separation, I think for me that's clear. Yeah.
And if you look at the space that you're dealing with, are there so many like you? Would you say the number is growing, or we're at least there where people can go over to YouTube and don't have to listen to this kind of song? They can get that alternative that you're giving. Is there competition? Are there so many people like you in that space? How is it?
Okay, there's always competition because as much as it's clean, all this music are competing in the same space. We have to be very candid and very splendid with the truth, because when music is released, both gospel and contemporary, they compete in the same space. Yeah, the same airwaves. Yeah. There's songs that have been trending recently. The Kudade, you've probably heard it. You didn't look for it. It got to you, right? And then I don't know the song but in the word Godha or something. I'm not sure of the meaning of that, so I won't talk about it so much. But you see, these songs, there's a way they get to you.
Yeah, they find you.
There's this piano dance also that has been trending. So all this compete in the same space. So that means there is always competition, even with guys who are doing something different.
Yes.
So how do I cope, especially someone who is having a young career like mine, is I have to ensure the music is so good and keep working on it, which also ends up being expensive sometimes. So I'm focused to ensuring that my music is good, that even someone who does not care to listen to this kind of music will listen to it and be like, I actually enjoy, because that is how I'm going to compete and even get more people listen to this clean. Clean, so it has to be good. So there's always competition, but the music has to be good.
Yeah. All right, now let's talk about your EP.
Yes.
And I follow musicians. So there's one that I do follow and who said we're living in an age where not many artists put a lot of time and effort in doing albums. They just do one music.
They relax.
6 months later, they come back, or maybe even a year, they come back and do another music. And, she says just doing an album shows the kind of artist that you are. You're dedicated to what you do. You're dedicated to your work. You're doing your work for a purpose. So let's speak about your EP. This is your first EP?
Yeah, it was my first EP.
So, just putting in mind that you're doing an album, you're a young musician, you've got a career that you really want to sprout up. How was that? What was that decision you put into, I'm going to do an EP. I'm not just going to do one music, I'm going to do a whole album.
Yeah. So initially I was actually to do very many songs and make it an album.
Yeah.
And the songs were actually ready. And I have so many songs ready for you guys. So, but again, I was advised, because it's expensive pushing an album or an EP. So I was advised, maybe if you dim it and have it speak about something, and then just release probably a few, like 5 to 6.
Yeah.
And then I was always fighting. I'm like, this song has to be.
It has to
be
be
in this
there.
EP.
Yes.
This song has to be,
And eventually you find like all songs you want them there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like there's this specific song I wrote, I call it Superstar, that is really about identity. I'm blessed, I'm winning, I'm the best, I'm losing. It's like an affirmation that everyone needs. And I feel like it needs to be in this zero pressure. But I feel like the song is big for me, and I wouldn't want to put it in a crowded Valentine's.
Yeah, it needs to be on its own.
So the idea of an EP for me, because there are usually two reasons why musicians do EPs or albums. The first reason is usually to offset like a backlog of music. So you've produced so many music and you've just released a few, and you have some that you need to get out there, especially the musicians who do bubblegum music that is not timeless, music that ends in season. And so that's one reason people guys do EPs. The other is to get enough body of work for live shows.
Yeah.
So for me, and also the third one is to get people to understand the kind of musician you are. So I was doing the third, to get people to experience me and just know that this is the music I do, this is my style of writing, this is how I merge modern style with my vernacular, and this is how, it's working for me. So Nakupenda was the first song in the EP, and then the second song is Subadala, so, which was aimed at marketing my home county, and how beautiful it is.
Which is a good identity.
Yeah. And then the third song was Love. We did with Costa Ojuang. Some of you know him. Then I did a song called Nyamama, Valentine edition with Kinoti. Then did one last song, Zero Pressure, which I featured Okelo and Otendawili. Which was just telling guys, relax. Ukishindana na jirani. It's actually my favorite line in that song is by Okelo, where he says, I live with love. What they say behind me doesn't matter. Yeah? The same God who has blessed you can get to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, wisdom.
Yes.
So the EP was to showcase my style and also to have enough body of work, at least, to do sets in. And I'm probably just restraining myself from releasing another EP. Everything is ready.
Not restrain yourself.
Album, everything is ready. So I'm really looking forward to putting out so much music. I remember just before the EP, I was in the Full Circle with Betty, big up to you, Betty. And I told her it's time for me to give it all to the world, everything that is within. And yeah.
Do not restrain.
And here we go.
Here we go. So here we go as well to some of the artists that you've featured on your EP as well.
Yeah.
What is that decision you make before featuring an artist in your album, by the way? Because perhaps you look up to so many, you want so many, but now you have to sit down and be like, now who do I want? How do you make that decision? And what led you to having the stars like Kinoti as well? Yeah.
So, first of all, you go where you are appreciated. You know, artists won't work with you if they don't believe in you.
In what you're doing.
Yes, in what you're doing. So that is the first thing. These people believed in what I'm doing and they like my talent. And then also, you go to guys you like their content, their songs, you like their style, and they're also guys you feel would fit best in your style. The guys you like their styles, but they can't fit into your style. Again, that's something. So maybe just talk about every collaboration individually. So Nyamama was like an R&B-ish song. So the moment I wrote it, it was just screaming Kinoti all over it.
What does Nyamama mean?
Nyamama is mama's girl. Yes, it's a Luo word, mama's girl. By the way, for anyone who does not know. Yes, so it was just screaming it all over. And so the style, and he came and did a very beautiful job with it. Then Love, the Costa one, was now for a certain generation here, young families. Sasa hiyo pase haikuwa ya vijana sana. Because such a good thing to find love, you know. So it's a more for people who have found, I say, not people who are looking for. So
those who have found.
Song ya Rusi nini Rurashio. Yes. And then Zero Pressure, it was drill first of all, and you know the king of drill in Kenya is Okelo and Wetendawili. And then I really, because of my writing, I merge the Luo with Swahili and put it all together. So I felt like they also have that kind of writing, and we could actually collaborate beautifully to give guys a very beautiful sound.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm very much interested to hear Nyamama because you know, mtoto wa mama. Yeah.
Najua tutaona na weekend. I just want to say I miss you. Niko poa on my end. Everything looks fine. For the past 5 days, I've been thinking about you. Ever since you said yes, I feel so lucky. So baby, I wanna hear you say you lose each other my way, baby. How can I make you stay? I think I'm going insane, baby. I wanna hear you say you lose each other my way, baby. How can I make you stay? I think I'm going insane, baby. I love you, mama. I miss you, I need you here right now. I love you, mama. I miss you, I need you here right now. Nafurahia ukiona mimi, shahidi moyo nakupa kamili na napoteza nguvu mimi ya kutegea kukuona Jumapili ma. I wish time could faster so your lips could meet mine. I wish I wasn't wishing to have you by my side. No stay can deny thinking about you nafurahi. Thank God that you're mine, beautiful angel from the sky. Akiwa like patana, kila mahali tutafika.
My Lord, what a beautiful song.
Thank you so much.
Wow,
I'm
love
glad
that.
you like it.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it so much. And like I've said, your songs, it's about experience. When somebody sits down, and the moment you start playing, like your mind takes you back to some place or to someone, and that's such a beautiful feeling that you're able to listen to music and relate to it.
Yeah, sure.
Wow. So let's talk about what you're looking up to in the future. Some of the people you'd love to collab with. Is there an EP coming soon? So maybe let's talk about your future a bit as well.
Yeah, so first I have so many songs ready.
Roughly how many?
10. Wow. Yes. That's like ready, like ready.
Yeah.
But written, I don't know how many. But I write every day. I write every day at least. So the idea is to by the time I'll be releasing my album, I'll have like 2 albums waiting. So I'm focused, to give you guys the best. So by the time I'm giving an album, I'm actually choosing from a list of like 30, 40 songs and picking best 15, 16 and giving you guys a very beautiful body of work. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm still also working on my branding, my packaging, and also doing more live shows, even open mics, and just building my confidence more, working at it, sharpening my skill, learning from people, and also getting to define or to set my boundaries also, how far is too far, and just get everything clear for me. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to work with very many artists who I enjoy their work.
I kind of feel like you and Nikita Kering would make a fantastic collab.
Yo, Nikita, you just heard that.
I feel it in my spirit.
Yes, flesh and blood did not reveal that thing. So Nikita, if you're watching or you get to see this, we need to do. If this is the sign you're waiting for, here it is. Yeah. So actually, you nailed that, because I actually like Nikita's music, and so I'm really looking forward to working with many artists, both internally and also out of the country. I also love now that I've not done any collab with a female artist, but you mentioned Nikita. There's also a Tanzanian lady, Abigail Chams. I like her music. And then, of course, I'd love to do something with BN. I'd love to do something with BN.
Say no more.
I'd love to do something with BN and a couple more artists. Just to get my style also out there, and probably to prove, like what I was telling you, that good music can sell. It doesn't have to be contaminated or dirty. So I'm really trying to get us to that point where, because Kenya, we have very, very good music, good writers, good melodies, but can we make the content also, even better? So
it's sort of like I'm excited on your behalf, because I see like something big is coming.
I really appreciate it.
And that's fantastic to have a clear plan and a clear goal of what you want to do, who you want to do it with. Gives you a purpose as well. Now, what they may not know is that you also have a 9-to-5 job as well. You have a job aside from what you're doing right now, and just talk about how you balance that as we wrap it up as well.
Yeah, I think my life is extreme sport. That is what my manager told me yesterday, because I'm usually up and about. Though to some extent it has helped me escape very many things that happen. Let me just take you back a bit to campus, where I had school and music. And I used to leave like school probably on Thursday or Friday and come back on Sunday evening. So I feel like kidogo ilini save from very many things, because busy is good. especially when you're a certain age. So it really saved me. I usually joke with my certain friends of mine. I tell them sometimes when they see I'm a good guy, it's not like I'm doing so much to be that. You know, I feel like God was like, you're a good guy by force. You know? So yeah, where you don't even have that time to not be a good guy.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? So sometimes it's I say the things you can't because everything out there you can really easily get lost and be consumed by very many things. Some of them don't even make sense. So that has helped me so much. So I'm usually so busy because I have my 8 to, okay, it's actually 7 to 4. So I have to be at work by 7. And I'm in IT. So I'm probably busy and then do what I have to. And then evening, I'll leave and go for my music. Then once in a while, when I have like a studio session or a video shoot, I'll, take a leave from work. And then a day like today, when I have this interview, I'll get to work late, like I'll say now by 2 hours. But I usually compensate because I usually believe in giving, just as I've said, whatever you do, work at it with all your
do your best.
I remember yesterday I left work at around 7:30 and we should be leaving by 4. And I was actually working. So probably I feel like anytime I'm at work, I have to give that value.
100%.
Yeah, that my colleagues actually feel that, he is an important member of our team. So that when I leave and go do my music once in a while, they don't feel strained. They actually feel like you're still doing the most. So that is one tip of how I balance, just to ensure anytime you're available, do the most. Do the most, whatever you're doing. And the little time also I find in this music, I use it well because I know it's limited. I think there's a way we respect time when it's limited. When we have so much time at our disposal, let's say when you have like an event scheduled later in the day, you actually end up being late. But if it's very early in the morning,
you're very up early.
So it's really helping me to be disciplined because I have to work with very tight timings and
schedule.
So I get a burnout once in a while because it's so much giving my best at work and also my best in my art and music career. How I cope is I get rest once in a while. I didn't want to lie to you guys that I go for a vacation. Social media pressure ni mbaya, Guardian Angel said. So vacations not yet. But resting, yes. Sleeping. Yes.
All right, so Elisha, we are out of time, and so we're wrapping it up at this point. Thank you very much for coming to just share your journey. I love this kind of music. That it's, I'd say, family friendly. Anyone can just walk into your YouTube page and say, this one, no problem. If anyone watches it, no problem. So thank you for coming in, for sharing your story, and we hope that you'll be able to inspire so many more who want to pursue what you're doing, or at least this kind of music to do it even more.
Sure.
Sasa sijui tutafungia tuna at 24 because me, I'm obsessed with that now at this point. So thank you very much for watching. Elisha, take it away.
I'm alive and that is good enough, and I'm giving my best anyway. I'm alive and that is good enough, and I'm giving my best anyway. Anytime you wake me up, I know that you're surely not done with me yet. Kila siku nasema erukamano, yakalaga umenifikisha. I'm alive and that is good enough, and I'm giving my best anyway. I'm alive and that is good enough, and I'm giving my best anyway. Anytime you wake me up, I know that you're surely not done with me yet. kila siku nasema erokamano, Nyakalaga umenifikisha. Papara papara pa, papara papara pa, papara papara pa, papara papara. At 24, you should be living by yourself, not in your mama's house. At 24, you should be having a degree and probably a job you do. You should have mastered a skill or two, made some great friends, a savings account. You should be deeply in love or at least engaged, and your wedding is this December. Is there a manual or something? I'm trying to figure it out. It's my first time here, or it's a job with a job description but ain't qualified. Trust me, I'm on to something. Maybe it's just not my time. Every dog has its day. I'm alive and that is good enough, and I'm giving my best anyway. I'm alive and that is good enough, and I'm giving my best anyway. Anytime you wake me up, I know that you're surely not done with me yet. Kila siku nasema erokamano, Nyakalaga umenifikisha. When I was your age, we used to pay our bills and our parents' bills. I had met your mom, even the sky you see, the land right there, I got it at 24. We used to wake up in the morning before the sun is up. We never had it.
You are watching EBN TV, transforming your